I'm a PK. So I know how church people are. I know how messy the church could be. I know how people could use you. I know how you can help somebody pay rent and be there if they lose a loved one and they just leave the church and don't give you any explanation. The lack of closure a lot of pastors get, man, I ain't trying to do all that. And then if I fall, then I'm in some tabloid or no, I'm good. I'm never doing that. Everything I'm doing right now, Marcus, I said I never would do.
Jehovah's passion for life. We just supported his team that be bringing them life.
This is the segment, man. We get a chance to spotlight people, and we do what we call good in your neighborhood. And man, I actually got this interview that fell in my lap, man. And I got to say, it is a pleasure talking to this brother. Watched him blow up on social media, and man, he has inspired and ministered to a lot of people, man. On the show today, live on the Zoom, I got Pastor Jerry Flowers Jr. What's up, sir?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man? Thanks for having me, bro.
Man, you are doing a whole lot for our city in Houston. If you're listening worldwide, for the YouTube and the internet space, bro, you are changing cultures, bro. So I got to say, salute to you on doing that part. We're gonna talk about your ministry. We're gonna talk about your background. But man, while we here today, I saw this and I said, he's adding Arthur to the title. I don't even know if this is your first book, but this the one gonna be the one. Heart Rehab.
Yeah. Yes, sir. It's my first book, man. And it's really an act of obedience. This was sitting in me for at least 5 years. It took 2 years to write, and it just came out October 21st. And I just got reports that it's #1 for top release. So I'm just grateful, man. I'm in awe of what the Lord is doing, bro. So, yeah.
All right, with all that you got going on, church growing, you got the family, you got all of these things going. For a lot of people, first thing they say is, man, when you have time, how did you have time? And when did God say, book?
Yeah. So every July, I take a sabbatical. I take a sabbatical for about 5 or 6 weeks, and that's usually when I reset, refuel, refocus, and that's when it really got start, churning in my heart. Hey, man, you need to produce a book. There's a whole nother group of people that you're never going to reach in a sermon. They're never going to come to your church. They're never going to listen to YouTube. But maybe if there are readers that can come across this book, that the Lord could use as a tool to get them to heal on the inside. So that's really kind of how the thought began to happen, and then just confirmation, like, man, when you gonna write a book? When you gonna write a book? When you gonna write a book? And so I did it, man.
Yeah. What was that pressure like? Because this is the first time out, right? And
Mhm.
I mean, as a pastor, I know you take your notes and you study your word and you write your sermons out. But man,
Yeah.
in the book, it's all coming out, or do you get the writer's block? What happens?
I have so much content, bro. Like usually at the end of a sermon on Sunday, I still got more.
Mm,
So
mm.
it's I feel like the book is an overflow project versus searching for material, searching for content. There's just so much that's in me. I feel like a student in a classroom. The teacher asks a question, my hand is up. There's so much that I have to share. So that's really kind of the overflow of the book came out of that.
Yeah. Did you put
Yeah.
any added pressure to yourself and go, no, that ain't gonna get them. This not good enough. Or
Yeah.
should I expound on that? Like, where was your brain at?
So there's two different things. First, man, I had this epiphany. Probably like 2 years ago when we first started Therapy Thursday. I admitted that sometimes on Saturday night it would be rough, bro. Like anxiety, just is this gonna be a good sermon? Is this gonna bless people? Is this too similar to what you said last week? Oh, last week did good. Well, what about this week? And all that was just bothering me, man. And I just was praying to the Lord. I said, God, if I have to do this and feel this pressure every Saturday night, take it. I'm good, man. I don't want to have warfare every single Saturday before it's time to speak on your behalf. And this is what really changed my life, man. As I was praying about it, the Lord revealed to me it's not anxiety, it's the fear of the Lord.
Mm,
Without me, you're gonna look stupid.
yeah.
Without me, you're gonna run out of content. You're gonna look like a babbling idiot. So actually, what you feel is my security deposit that you won't get arrogant and that you won't get haughty. So that changed everything for me because it shifted from anxiety to the fear of the Lord. And so when I was writing the book, when anxiety did try to come, because I'm human, I would remind myself of that. It's the fear of the Lord. You know, without him, it's not going to be good. You know, without him, it's not going to touch hearts. You know, without him, it's not going to reach people. And that's what kind of helped me to continue on when I felt that urge of what if people don't like it? What if they don't buy it? So that's been a game changer for my life, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Heart rehab. Oof, ooh, just to hear the name rehab. Ooh, something we don't really want to. Heart rehab. You're checking out the Blessed Beatz Live Weekend syndicated show. On the show, Jerry Flowers Jr. talking heart rehab. The title.
Yeah.
Did you wake up? I got it, babe. What did it have? How did the title?
So one of the joys I have is I get to see people transform, right? I get to see people spiritually grow. And I noticed that sometimes when I have these meetings or counseling sessions with brothers or sisters, they didn't hear nothing I said during the sermon. I'm like, you didn't, did you go to Mark? What is did you like they're not hearing anything because of trauma, bro.
Yeah.
Because of trauma. And so it was an epiphany for me. How can you love your neighbor as yourself if you don't love yourself?
Mm.
Man, there's some healing in our heart that has to happen for us to be able to even carry out basic biblical principles. So the heart needs to be healed, or the heart needs to go through rehab. And so that's how the title came together.
Man, all right. So let's dive in. I don't want you. What I don't want is you to give too much, because you got to go get this book. Y'all listening? You watching right now? This almost about to be like a thirst trap. I need you to go get the whole thing, man. I'm scrolling through, and I
Hmm.
see this one C word that we all have a little bit of. Chapter 6, control issues.
Yes.
Dig in there just a little bit.
Yeah. So really, control issues is our attempt to operate in sovereignty.
Mm.
The Lord is sovereign. He controls outcomes. He controls that people change. Change is a matter of a man's will, not how hard you could love them. There's nothing that you could do to make somebody change who doesn't want to.
Mm.
And so, really, man, control issues and narcissism, the line is so thin that I think people cross it and they don't even realize it.
Mm.
And so I really try in that chapter to get people to understand, like, yo, you do your part. Trust God to do his part. Because anytime you try to change them or try to force this to grow or try to be obsessed with the width of how far something reaches, you're
Yes.
gonna always operate with this control issues. You're gonna micromanage people. And so I want people to render that control. Life is easier when you stop trying to live God's way.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, that's God's way. You can't control that, bro. You
How you
control
check
yours.
yourself? How do you check yourself, Jerry, when um you preached a great message? It was outside of you today, right?
Mhm.
Many people are touched. People are slain. The numbers on YouTube grow. How do you check your control issues before you say, I did a good?
Yeah. So for me, man, the scary thing is I recognize that God could use you and not know you. And I get that from when God told Moses to speak to the rock, and Moses got mad and he hit it, and water still flowed. If I'm God, I'm not gonna let the water flow because you disobey me,
Hmm.
and that's scary to me, bro. That the Lord could use you on behalf of His people, but you and Him, we're not at good terms right now. So for me, I view every sermon as a privilege, bro. And I always check myself. I'm surrounded by brothers and church mothers that if my head were to try to get big, they would they would pop it. So that's something that keeps me grounded in humility.
Yeah, you could tell watching your sermons that humility is there. Now, for my generation and younger,
Hmm.
chapter 8 is where I'm going first. Matter of fact, I might go back to it after the interview. The title after the breakup. We've all
Yeah.
been there. We've all been there, and it could be breakup, relationship, job, whatever your breakup is. Go in
Hmm.
there a little bit.
Yeah. So, and that chapter, that's one of my favorite ones too, bro. I try to get people to understand relationships never die from natural causes. It was either a homicide, I killed it, they killed it, we killed it together, trauma killed it, dysfunction killed it, or it's purified. God removed it because he wants to take you another direction. But the thing is, bro, everybody's always blaming other people as a counterfeit. And so I start the chapter off, man, like, yo, what if you the counterfeit? What if they blessed to get away from you? You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
What if God was protecting them from you versus you feeling like God was protecting me from them? And
Mhm.
so that chapter starts off really, really hard as a heart check, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Heart Rehab, we just scrolling through the book real quick. I'm encouraging you to go support it and go get it. Man, I saw this, and it's just a question I wanted to ask. There was, at one point, this is trending. Everybody would put the emoji, the red flag, when they see a red flag, red flag. How do you recognize, or how are we recognizing red flags?
First, can you identify if you won?
Mm,
Everybody always says that's a red flag. What red flags do you have?
mm,
Are you projecting redness on them? Or does God show you a red flag, but red is your favorite color? So you view the red flag as an invitation. So I think it really starts, man, with knowing where I'm going. Know what success is for this season. If success for this season is healing, and I don't need a relationship, somebody who's trying to get me out of that space might be a red flag.
yeah,
I want to have sober. I want to be sober minded, and I recognize I'm no longer going to get faded or drunk, whatever it may be. And somebody is challenging what I'm trying to have a demolition project in my life, that's a red flag. Anybody that's trying to get you to go back to something that God is trying to keep in the grave, that's a red flag. But first, you must identify if you are a walking red flag first.
yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, and if somebody reads that, researches that, and realizes I'm the red flag, how do you pour into that person?
I think the fact that you're aware, bro, you know how many people are not aware of themselves?
Mm,
Can't sing but think they can,
mm,
breath stink, they can't smell it.
mm.
Like there are a lot of people. So I would congratulate you on just being aware
Yeah,
of something in your life that you need to, allow the Lord to detox you. So that's how I would start with the person, man. Thank God that you're aware, that you're
yeah,
not naive or entitled or blaming other people for the way that you are. Let's
yeah,
do the inner work.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry Flowers Jr. is hanging out with me. Just a few more conversational pieces on it, and then I'm gonna get into his little personal life, find out a little stuff about him, man. In in the spirit of heart rehab,
Mhm.
relational autopsy came across, and I gotta ask. We use the word like rehab and autopsy,
Yeah.
relational autopsy. Can you speak into that?
Yeah. So what was the cause of death? Was it my mouth? Was it me being unfaithful? Was
Yeah.
it me being a liar? And until you really identify the cause of death, you're gonna keep murdering hearts.
Mm,
And so that's really it. Like you could actually be using somebody else's heart as a practice field while you find yourself.
yeah.
So that's the whole autopsy part is just what killed this? Don't
Yeah.
just move on. Don't just say the many fish in the sea. What killed it first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before I ask you, man, I know you said chapter 8 is one of your favorites. Before I even ask you, what was the one? If we was walking down the street, I want you to answer that in a minute. If you was walking down the street and you was like, Marcus, yo, I got a book, bro. You got to check out. I want that answer in a second. But I saw this and I got to ask in the introduction, bro.
Mhm.
I think the first line in the introduction is the title of chapter 10. And I
Yeah.
said, that boy a rap. He got to be a rapper. Got to be a rapper to do something like that. But,
Yeah.
but why I think I wrote it down on my notes. I don't want to be like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is the goal. Like when you fully see you, Marcus, like it's like when you see the deficits in you, when you see the areas that are cancerous for others if they get too close, when you see the secondhand smoke that you're producing, you got to get to a place to where you're like, I don't want to be like this anymore, man. I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to be prideful. I don't want to be lustful. I don't want to project my trauma on others. And then from that place, it goes back to what we were just talking about. Awareness is the first fundamental part of starting heart rehab. Is
Mhm.
you have to be aware of the areas that are weak,
Yeah,
so then you can tackle those and grow.
yeah,
If you could unlearn it, if you could trace it, you could unlearn it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You find a lot of people struggle with even wanting to see that mirror. You said awareness is big, but some of us don't want to see that mirror.
For sure. It's because I think sometimes people know how dark uh their ways could be. And instead of doing the work, because it takes a lot of work to identify like, hey, I'm the one that's damaging hearts.
Yeah.
Owning that requires a level of honesty that a lot of people don't want. And it's crazy, bro. It's almost like people walk around with this concept. If you love me, lie to me.
Oh,
Don't tell me the truth. If you tell me the truth, you're a hater.
Yeah.
But if you love me, lie to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like our society today. All right, bro. I'm walking down the street. Here you come, and you promoting your book like a rapper out of the trunk, and you go, Marcus, I got this book, bro. You got to read this. Which one you give?
Probably going to give you your mind is too crowded. First thing I'll ask you is, do you struggle with overthinking? Like, do you see your facial expressions already let me
You on
know?
the street, bro? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you find yourself thinking worst case scenarios and planning for them to actually happen? Or have you ever had a pre-planned clapback just in case you have another conversation with that person? If so, check out Your Mind is Too Crowded. That particular chapter is going to deal with it's possible that a word or an instruction from God has to stand in the long line of your overthinking.
Yeah,
So if God tells you to do something, your response is, hold on, let me go overthink it. I'll get back to you on it.
I
So
love
that's probably the number one chapter I say your mind is too crowded because I think a lot of people battle with overthinking.
bro. Jerry Flowers Jr. Listen, heart rehab. You gotta go get it. Gotta go support this.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
but it's a lot, man. And I was talking on our morning meetup. I do this morning meetup every morning. I lead a word. I'll tell you about that in a second. And when I mentioned name, people lit up, right? And I'm like, man, people know you, and you've been growing, and the social media stuff started happening. When did you preach? Most preachers know. Remember their first sermon. When was that? And when did this digital explosion happen?
Pandemic. So March, the week of spring break of 2020, we bro probably like 50 people watched, maybe 40 people in the congregation. Pandemic happens, we're forced to quarantine. People have nothing to do. So they log on, and there's this young, sweaty preacher preaching the gospel. And then the Lord just, boom, he used that opportunity to blow the ministry, man. I'm literally, bro, from like 50 views to 1 million in a week.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's when it happened for me.
yeah.
And the beauty of that, though, bro, is there was nobody in the sanctuary.
Hmm.
I didn't know what applause was because it's digital. So I was preaching with no awareness of how it was doing. And I think sometimes algorithms, analytics, views, impressions can take away from the joy of obedience because you're going off a reaction. So I'm not a reactionary preacher because my training ground was with teenagers, bro. Ain't no
You
teenager
know,
gonna say amen.
yeah, you're not going to get too many
No.
from them, man. And so, as the good radio personality,
Hmm.
and we're broadcasting on the national show right now, the Blessed Beatz live show, which is a Christian hip hop show.
Yeah.
Little Birdie said, Christian rapper? Wait a second. You got some Christian rapper in you?
Oh yeah, man. That's what I used to do, bro.
What was your Christian rap name?
J Flow.
Jay? Listen,
Flow. Yeah, short for Jerry Flowers.
yeah. Did you have skills? Do you guys? I'm not about to ask you to rap,
Well,
but
I thought I was all right. You
yeah,
know, it wasn't out of like a passion. I mean, I was fully degreed and everything, and it just I didn't want my young people listening to trash. And
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
we start freestyling on Friday night. Then they said, "When your album coming out?" And I was saying,
yeah.
"Album." And made an album, and then another church. When your album coming out? So that's how I started. Never was a passion. Never was something like, "Yo, I'm gonna spit these bars." Never was that. So
You're calling to preach, right?
yeah.
Um, let's dig deep, bro. You're calling to preach. You get
Hmm.
the call. Did you expect this? Do you expect greater, or did you just God and being obedient?
I didn't want to do it, bro. I said no. I'm a PK, so
Okay.
I know how church people are. I know how messy the church could be. I know how people could use you. I know how you can help somebody pay rent and be there if they lose a loved one, and they just leave the church and don't give you any explanation. The lack of closure a lot of pastors get, man, I ain't trying to do all that. And then if I fall, then I'm in some tabloid or no, I'm good. I'm never doing that. Everything I'm doing right now, Marcus, I said I never would do. This is purely obedience. So I'm not a slave to it. I don't find identity in it, nor do I really feel significant from it because this all started from I'm never doing that.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
From before the explosion, the fight of the call, you have your life, right?
Hmm.
You're rapping, and you might be in the video games. You're into the sports, and right. How do you still find that balance today to where I'm not in the word all the time? Because if I Google you, I'm getting word. Who are you
Yeah.
outside of that?
I love photography. I love cinematography. I love fishing. I love going to the gun range. I love basketball. I love boxing. And next week my vacation starts. So that's kind next week is my last weekend of travel, and I'm enjoying the holidays. My children and I, we're going on vacation. So I have like a method, you know. So I plow from August to November, and then I'll rest at the beginning of the new year when everybody wants to be on fire for the Lord. Then I'm starting fresh again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
For sure, bro. I'm gonna continue to watch you. I'm going to dive into this book, and actually, I'm so excited that I actually got this interview because my first book came out just right before this. We'll just talk
Ah,
about that. So
congrats.
that's why I was so excited to actually hear yours. And man, I'm praying for much success from it. Heart Rehab. How can we go get it?
Anywhere, bro. Wherever books are sold, Barnes and Nobles, half price books, of course, Amazon. My publisher wants me to mention, don't just say Amazon. It's everywhere, you know. So if you can go to store, Target, Walmart, anywhere you go,
Yeah,
you'll be able to grab a copy.
yeah. And then your social media. One, what is it? I know you. I don't know if it's the same all the way across all boards, but what is your go-to social media for you? You
My
wake up.
goal for
What's yours?
social media.
What's your look? I'm a TikToker. I'm an Instagrammer. I'm a YouTuber. What are you?
Man, you know, bro, I never even thought about that. I never considered what is my goal. I just pray it reaches people, man. I pray that the Lord uses it to inspire people to seek Him. But I don't really have a goal, man. I don't really like. I gotta have 500,000. I gotta. Honestly, it's a shocking. It's shocking to me everything that's happening. So you're asking somebody, how do you feel about results that you never expected, that you never looked for, that you never desired, and you said you would never do. I don't know. I'm gonna just keep on doing what I'm doing, man.
Absolutely. How they find you on social media?
Everything Jerry Flowers, Jr. or Redefined TV.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much, bro, for stopping through the Blessed Beatz Live Weekend Syndicated Show. And you're in Houston
Born
or
and
up
raised.
north, right?
Born and raised, Houston, Texas.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Man, I try to get the wife and the kids. We'll make that trek up 45 and try to
Yeah.
holler at you one of these weekends. Jerry Flowers, Jr. Heart Rehab, inside the Blessed Beatz Live Weekend Syndicated Show. Stick and stay. More of your favorites along the way. Don't move.
Jehovah's passion for life. We just supported his team that be bringing them life.